Hello and welcome to another episode of Subscribe Reviews. I am Dragolf. I'm here joined by Leeroy, Green, and
Yo.
Murdoch.
What's up?
And we're on the final episode, the season finale.
Series finale.
The series
Yeah,
finale,
we made it. We made it.
of WandaVision. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this episode was the fighting that we all wanted to see between all the fight scenes. We see Wanda and Agatha fighting, even right in the beginning.
I had a feeling they were gonna wait for that more action-packed stuff for the last few episodes. So I'm kind of glad they went that route. It was a nice change of pace from the everyday normal action that we constantly see in Marvel, which is not like it's bad, but it's a nice change of things when we just get more suspense, more drama. So I'm not mad they waited till the last episode for it.
Building, which was nice. I feel like there's I don't know, like some of that can get muddled over by a lot of the action in some of the other movies. So it was cool having like I don't know, making the stakes as high as they were, over the last 8 weeks to make this finale like really mean even more.
Yeah, and you get to explore the characters and see why they fight, and then sometimes the main complaint about Marvel's villains is they don't give enough time, or they feel empty, or something like that. Until Thanos, so, obviously, but he basically had his own movie to make it good.
2 of them.
Yeah. So we see Agatha antagonizing, Wanda by bringing the kids up on leashes and stuff,
choking them out.
Yeah.
Messed up. It's messed up.
She wants to get hit by her magic so she can absorb it, as she could see in her past, and by that second hit.
Yo, magic.
That's what I was saying too. Yeah. I was like, oh, she's the shark. I'm snacking on your magic. I was like, right. Because that's from the last episode when I kind of put together like when she absorbed the powers from the other witches and they decayed and everything. Same thing we seen in the commercial. I feel like all the commercials were pretty much answered except for like one of them, which was the Nexus one.
Yeah.
Like
some of them were
people read comics, like you would know kind of like what the Nexus is, but for like general audience, like that still hasn't been like
answered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a deep cut Easter egg. Like, we need another one. Dig from the comics. We'll get something.
that we'll get an answer when the next movie comes out.
Yeah, definitely. And then she pulls an old trick and hits. Instead of hitting her with magic, she hits her with a car, just like in Civil War.
Yep. Maybe get a little Wizard of Oz reference.
That was funny.
Under the house.
The witch jokes.
Because they're witches. Get it?
Yeah.
But
I was laughing at it. Then we see White Vision step into the fray.
And he starts choking. Just
crushing her head.
Starts crushing her. Like this.
Same thing as Ultron. It's like, even though he has no data access to that right now, but it's a natural move of it. I thought he was gonna just. I've been watching too much anime, so I thought he was just gonna put his hand through the chest.
Kalima.
Yeah, but the head crush was a good another nod.
I'm surprised she was able to fight that off. You'd think like right away, like robot crushing your head, just pop, like.
Oh man, they really started going to deep how strong she was. This one, so like they even mentioned it like that she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. So she's supposed to be more strong than Doctor Strange when it comes to this. So a robot, an android crushing your head, that should mean nothing to like to be able to get out of that in an instant. But she's still learning about her powers. Like we still, but that's what we see about this. She, especially when it gets to like the post-credit scene that we'll get into later.
As the fight continues, she mentions the Darkhold, and the Darkhold mentions that you're more that the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. which is a good shout out to Doctor Strange
and the Darkhold they showed in this, because I remember the Darkhold was also in Agents of Shield,
Yes,
but it was like slightly different. It was when I think it was when Ghost Rider and all of them showed up. So I'm trying to see if is there two of them? Is there one from another dimension possibly? Like, so I guess they kind of
Agents of Shield.
I swear to God, if they do, that would be the stupidest thing. The amount of references we get to the MCU,
the movie,
in those shows, like they constantly mention like the Battle of New York and the Avengers all the time. Even Fury was in these episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And other members of Shield who were in the MCU. So they better not retcon.
They can retcon maybe the Inhumans. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. No one,
that show
no one wouldn't even notice if they retcon.
Never heard of them.
They did the Inhumans way better in Agents of Shield anyway. So that's all we need for them.
Maybe they're waiting for to get the rights to buy it fully, so they could just have it on Disney Plus or something like that.
ABC's under Disney, so I don't think they would even need to really do anything with that. So I don't know. I don't know if someone in the editing department, the continuity department was kind of glossed over this, but as soon as I noticed, that was the Darkhold, and I immediately thought, okay, they had that in Agents of Shield. It just looked different. So I don't know. Maybe they'll address it.
Multiple editions of
exactly. Oh no, that was the third edition. It's like a school textbooks. No, that's the old one. That's the third edition. Like we're on edition 5.
That was the 1700s edition.
Yeah,
1800s.
But we see the reality of the Westview, the residents of Westview, and they are being tortured.
They're in a state of constant pain and everything. They pretty much were being controlled, like we thought, And they even mentioned some stuff like, we feel your pain, and when you have nightmares, we have them too. Like, so everything like she's feeling and going through, they're also experiencing, which is pretty crazy.
And she was like locking a lot of the kids in their rooms.
Can
how
my
to
kid
eat
play with
and
you?
It's fucked up.
Yeah, it was great. It was pretty funny. I was like, how many days were they in there? So did they get nourishment?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't really get a
they even rather die too, they said, right?
Sense of time between how long this takes place over.
Yeah, I thought that was always a cool aspect, like when Vision like went into his coworker's head and he was just like like freaking out. So always seeing or them like crying, like and stuff. So like I don't know, I always like them breaking free and
pretty dark
darkness. Yeah.
And then we see the Vision fight or in the library. Pretty good logic of the ship of Theseus, which was just a great reference. Because like when you that's a lot of argument in art all the time, like if you're replacing it, because sometimes you got to restore stuff, like so like the Mona Lisa's repainted somewhat, so and with the smile they say it's a big point.
The fight ended a lot different than I thought it was. I thought it was just gonna be till at least one of them gets destroyed, but he's like, why are you doing this? He's like, I'm programmed to. He's like, let me show you something real quick. So,
and I thought that was like probably like the most Vision way to like end the fight too. So I enjoyed it.
It's all logic with him.
And I loved that conversation about the ship. Like I was like, this is like so fitting for this character to be like debating himself about like what's real and like which one, like we're both Vision, and I don't know, I really enjoyed when it got into that. The fighting was cool too, and it was dope, like just seeing them phase in and out of each other and grabbing and like the usual Vision shenanigans. Did they do any head beams? I can't even remember.
Yeah, they did head beams. I was like, none of these lasers are hitting people accidentally. That's what I was thinking. But
it almost looked like a reference to Man of Steel when he put him in the headlock and he's turning his head.
I
was like, are they referencing that? Like,
about to snap his neck.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna just snap his neck right there. Like
we're gonna choke a robot out again in the episode.
I thought it was like, it reminded me of the Manhunter, the Martian fight, White Martian versus like Green Martian. I was like, because he could phase too. I was like, oh, that's the DC. You're late to the punch again with this.
Wow.
But that was good.
Yeah, he unlocked what, the information they were keeping from him when they reprogrammed him, basically. So he was able to show him like all the memories from like the past movies that Vision was. So now he's aware of everything that happened, how he was created and how he died, why he died, how he came from the Mind Stone. Even Wanda, at the end tells him like even how he's created.
The Vision, Yeah, and then he just leaves. White Vision just leaves.
He just dips off.
I was like, we'll see you somewhere.
I thought we was gonna see maybe where he's at in the post credits, but we
Nah.
didn't. So I guess it's gonna take to whichever next MCU movie to come out to see where he is.
I gotta sort out his thoughts,
But it's glad to see like he's actually back. He's gonna stay white. He's gonna take a crayon and just color himself back in. Real quick. Like, who knows?
Yeah. I thought he's gonna like self-destruct like the Flaw Logic robot style. It's like I'm Vision. No, but Monica and fake Pietro. Oh man.
That was probably my least favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, I was hoping so much more.
Yeah,
he was just some guy named Ralph Boner.
I was like,
a Boner joke.
I was like, Iron Man 3 all over again.
They gotta stop doing that. They hype up so much shit, and when it comes to the reveal, it's like this is it. This was it. It didn't even turn out like, wasn't he like the person Wu was looking for all along? Like
no, not even.
I don't think they even like.
They just dropped that whole thing.
Yeah, I guess that was just like a plot device to get Jimmy Woo to discover the place, and then they were just like, "All right."
Because that's one of my things with this episode. Like, I felt like most questions that we have are kind of already answered. Like the last two episodes. Like this one didn't really give us any more reveals. Like, it gave us a pretty decent cliffhanger, but it didn't answer some. It didn't answer some remaining questions that I think were still kind of lingering around, from the series. It answered
who Pietro was.
Yeah. I was hoping that he was somewhere out of the multiverse. Like,
you think with a movie called Multiverse of Madness tying directly into this that they would maybe hint and
they cast that actor in particular
by casting Evan Peters. Like, they knew they were getting everybody excited, and then it was gonna lead to all these things. So I don't see how they would be like, you know what, it's all a fake out and you guys are gonna get nothing but a little boner joke. Like, come on, man. Like
that was beyond disappointing. I was like, really? We should have just like left him off when like a couple episodes ago. We could have just left it at that. I even have him stick around, just for a dick joke. Like,
they didn't even get to like join in the fight or anything.
He was just in a room
with a necklace
one time,
spelled an enchanted necklace. I was like, oh, all right, farewell.
I don't mind like being debated to get a theory wrong, but now like this almost feels like an insult.
It shot down all those theories about him being from the Fox multiverse, and then maybe bridging in some of those people. So I don't know, all done with.
Yeah, but Monica you get to see her powers when Hayward shoots the kid, which is totally crazy, out of character.
What's wrong with this guy?
I was like, all right.
Agatha choking the kid.
Yeah, like, jeez, these people are the worst. Yeah, actually, Wanda was actually pretty. She was keeping those kids safe. Now that I think about it, keeping those kids locked in their rooms and shit. Yeah, she was actually keeping them safe. As you can see, everyone else is choking them, shooting them. Like, everyone's just so abusive to like kids in this goddamn world. So it's good that we've seen a display of all three of their powers. Really. I
thought we'd get a little bit more of Monica's powers. I thought she would like fight a little bit, but all she really did was like take a bullet and it went through her and was like, all right, that's your action scene. All right.
They're saving all that.
Yeah, she did just get them
for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she did just get them.
It would have been nice to see it throw a punch,
or fly a little bit or something.
Yeah, a little something. I get you're teasing.
Yeah, especially against Hayward. You
Mhm.
you guys been fighting this whole all these episodes.
Yeah, he got hit by a truck.
Yeah, Kat Dennings got the punch in.
We see Wanda do a classic nightmare move from Age of Ultron 2 as well. And I was like, oh, we're going back to the classics. Agatha didn't get, when we see her nightmare, which is the Salem witch trial, which I guess, I don't know. But
she was kind of already hip to the game.
Yeah, she was already hip to it.
She was kind of just playing along with it at first.
Yeah. I know this one.
Yeah. And then she kicks him out. And then Wanda just has to pull her out of the dream. And that just convincing her she's a Scarlet Witch, basically, with the other witches saying, witch. And then like they start fighting in the air, which we barely see air fights. It's always like someone gets to the ground immediately when they fly. So, and then she's missing the hexes, and then it ends up being she puts her in that same spell that when she was torturing her earlier and showing her all the magic.
That's why they were up in the sky. She, it was clever. She had the clouds up, just the skies and everything, so she couldn't see that. She learned that same little spell. Only the witch who cast it, can only use her powers within it. So it was pretty smart. Not gonna lie, it was pretty genius move. She's a quick learner.
Yeah. She definitely learned the runes real quick. I was like, that's like a whole language.
Right.
That photographic memory.
Yeah, if she could remember all these sitcoms and make a whole cunt city or something like it, I'm sure she could remember a couple of runes.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after the fight, she turns her into the nosy neighbor. We'll see Agatha again, hopefully.
Yeah, she starts hinting towards like there's something like oh, you don't know what you've done, like so it looks like everyone's theories of there's someone still being a background player to most things going on. I'm assuming that's what she may be talking about, But,
yeah, I think Doctor Strange is probably gonna lead into Mephisto stuff at this point. Or at least like something, because it's got the Darkhold and it's got like dark power and dark magic and everything. And I'm glad that they didn't kill Agatha, because I feel like that's a complaint I have with a lot of Marvel stuff where they just like kill the villain, and it's like like Ronan could have done so much. Like they did, like there's places that they could go. So I'm happy that and Agatha has like an interesting like punishment, that she's making her live like her nosy neighbor life, like in prison in her own mind. So like it's cool that they left the door open for her and like gave a tease that I know where you are if I need to come back. So I thought that was like a fitting end to it.
That's what she was like in the comics to Wanda, like a kind of antagonist, but also like a mentor to her. Yeah, and then we see the hex closing, the final closing of the hex, and they walk home as a family. They say goodnight to the boys. I'm like, damn. So
it's gonna be it.
I didn't think they were gonna do it, but they did it.
Yeah, no reveal that they're part of Mephisto, so I was like, all right, so we're getting closure here. But
towards the end, like there's
the post credits might be another.
Throw it out completely because it seems to be more to them that it's not just the hex.
They're at least holding at least we won't get answers now. So and then we see Vision they talk to each other, their final goodbyes, and then we get the reveal what this vision is, the hex vision. That she does have a piece of the Mind Stone in her, which is we were all thinking of, especially with Captain Marvel's.
Yeah, that was a really sad scene. Them like that whole goodbye to the family and stuff, and that's probably like the strongest thing that's for me that's been going on in this series is like the character work and the emotions behind their relationships and really getting to flesh out like Wanda and Vision's relationship and like her becoming a mother and everything. So to see her once again lose everything, but like this time with a more like understanding of
Yeah.
like, you know, what's going on, and that, you know, it's not the end, and that, you know, she has all this power now, and there's this possible more answers out of it. It was a really sad and like really well written like goodbye, you know. So it was that was a really nice piece of closure to the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Yeah, even with Vision tearing up, like, oh.
I was like, oh, the androids do have feelings.
Got an oil leak there, buddy.
He got an oil. yeah. But yeah, especially with oh God, I forgot her name. The Wanda, the actress for Wanda, she's been killing Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, she's been killing it.
I can't wait to see more of her.
Just shows how much of a good actress.
Even like seeing her in her actual Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, the fit. Yeah. I forgot. I was about to already. I was like, I think I should.
It looked good. It looked good. You know.
Yeah, the color the crown looked very Magneto-ish color too. I'm like, but the crown is on there permanently, not a astral projection. But
like, I was hyped when they brought that in. I was like, oh shit, we doing it.
She's got the name Scarlet Witch. She's got the outfit. Like, she's officially like her comic book counterpart. You know, even the poses that she was doing, like when she like crossed her hands and like opened up the hex and shit like that. Like, it's like straight written out of like, you know, the comics. That's how she always like uses her powers. She always like kind of like crosses her hands in the air and shit like that. Like, so I always thought like stuff like that was pretty cool to see, you know, in live action.
Yeah. And then before we talk about the close credits, we talk about Monica and she another FBI agent said, "Oh, we'll talk to you in the theater. They want to meet you." I was like, what authorities just could be chilling in the theater? And then she turns out to be a Skrull. I was like, damn.
I thought it was gonna be Nick Fury.
I was hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the
he wants to talk to you. Yeah.
I just feel like we've seen it before. Like we gotten like a couple of like the Skrull post-credit scenes already. So this one I wasn't really too big on, to be honest, because we've seen it already before. So I wish there was like a little different reveal. Like, I'd rather it actually just been Fury. Like, that would have been better. You know.
Yeah. I thought it was when they said "old friend of your mom's." I thought Captain Marvel was gonna like straight come out too, and I was like, "Oh, it's just another Skrull." All right.
We'll never see
Secret invasion.
But at least she gets to go to space where she wants to. She smiles. It's pretty cute. Yeah. The post credits where we see. She's probably where is she? I thought it was like almost similar to Thanos' farm scene where she's just
that's what it reminded me of. Yeah,
I'm sure she's near some Sokovia Mountains or something like that. And then we see her astral projection form, just like in Doctor Strange. But she's awake while she's doing it instead of just sleeping.
Yeah, So again, showing how much stronger that she possibly can be than him. So.
That movie's about to be called Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse.
Yeah, right.
Featuring Doctor Strange in little parentheses.
Small ass text if you look real close.
I thought we were gonna see him in this episode. I was almost convinced we were gonna see him.
Yeah, we got trolled because Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be working with this, you know, actor I've never got to, you know, work besides with before. It turns out he was just talking about
himself. That was hilarious.
So we were speculating
so much
Doctor Strange or maybe a Doctor Doom reveal, you know, Reed Richards. No.
White Vision
himself. Never. But that was a good thing about, like, I mean, the actress that played Dottie's like, oh, my character's
there was crazy theories going around about her that I was just watching, like,
because she even said
the night before, like, that she was Agatha Jones, and like the theory that I was watching was adding up, like, you know, because they both had the same names, you know, with Jones as their last name. They both had a husband named Philip, like her husband in the show, his name was Philip, and then Agatha Jones, her husband, also was named Philip. So a lot of like stuff was adding up, and the fact that when she does her witch powers, it's yellow, and all her roses were also yellow.
Oh my god!
Wanda's was red, Agatha's was purple, and you know hers was yellow and shit like that. And they kind of like were alluding to something in her within, what was it, the second episode she appeared in?
Yeah, she likes kind of just everything revolves around her in this town or something.
Yeah. Even Agatha said something. She was like, she makes like 2 references to her flowers, like specifically. It was like one about the children, and then she says something like she's the key to everything in this town. So like they put in stuff that actually made it seem like that character was going to be revealed to be someone, but nah, she's just a regular person under control. Like I feel like that was just rewritten. I feel like halfway they were just like, let's not have too many witches in here. Let's because there was like after watching that video, like it was MatPat's video on Film Theories, and like a lot of things added up to her being like a player somewhere in this, but I don't know. Like I said, with the stuff Agatha was in the early episodes, like I said, I think they just kind of just rewrote it and just kind of scrapped the idea completely. But
just they Ralph Bonered her.
Yeah. they gotta stop doing that shit.
Man. Yeah, they put the casting crew's name in the episode, so when people analyze, there's he's just the casting crew. So that's when I realized that okay, now Marvel is self-aware.
I don't want to
what's going on
into like shit now. I just want to take it as it is and just wait for the next.
And that's what killed like
light speculation, but.
Yeah, too many like fan theories is stuff that killed like Star Wars and Game of Thrones near the end. It drove people, even the writers, crazy because they didn't want some people to be right, or sometimes they don't want to get. They think they get the idea from these fan theories, and they're like, so they go in a different direction.
You just gotta go with. Some people are going to possibly figure it out. Like it's just how things are. These like don't ever underestimate like your fan base. Like, people can put together like the pieces and clues, and not everyone will, but some will, and that's fine. Like just if the execution is still good, it's even if people kind of like seen it coming, like if the execution is still good, I think that's all that matters. Everything doesn't need to be like something shock. If we can't shock the audience with it or surprise them, like let's not do it at all.
It shouldn't punish people.
A similar thing with Agnes. Like I think it was like fairly obvious that. I mean, the comic people like knew like Agatha Harkness, like that's the name, and then like I think even the people who weren't fans of comics were just like, well, something's obviously off with her, and she's like behind something. But like,
all we had was a name and a necklace to give us those clues that was possibly her. You know? What I mean?
And they like it worked out well, but I don't think they needed to do so many of these other like purposefully false things. Yeah, and the red herrings are fine, but like when you're doing something like. You're literally bringing in Evan Peters from the X-Men universe, and then like
that shit needs
nothing. Like it's just like that's too far of a red herring. Like now you're like literally baiting people.
For me, this was a 7 because I mean I still liked all the action. I still like the conclusion of Vision and Wanda. Yeah, just after the Evan Peters thing hurt me a little bit, and also like. I don't know. Maybe I mean it's they're still set up for more, but the fighting, I guess, after everything in the other couple episodes is just like, all right, we're fighting now. We're just ending it. I feel like maybe we could have squeezed out a little more, but it's still a pretty good series altogether. So for me, but what do you guys?
For me, I would give it an 8. This one, I think its strongest points. With definitely the emotional aspects of it, like towards the end, I thought that was definitely my favorite moments between Wanda and Vision. It just really feels like a couple that really fucking cares about each other, and their family. Even though it's like she has to kind of give it up again, but it's not like it doesn't seem like it's over for her. Like there's still potential for her to reunite with her family. We kind of see that with Vision now being fully alive. We hear her kids at the very end, like they're trapped somewhere. So they're all gonna eventually be together again, But I think it's gonna mean something when we see them back together again, just from how emotional like these last few episodes have been. I was disappointed with the Quicksilver reveal. Also that it turned out to be nothing. The first post-credit scene, I thought it could have been more because like I said, we've seen the whole scroll reveal at the end already. So I thought it should have been something a little more, but I was pretty decent. I was happy, with the action that we got and the display of Wanda's powers. So, with all of that, I do give it like a light 8.
Yeah, I'm
Anthony
liking.
Fantano, like
Yeah, right. Like a strong 7 light 8 kind of around that. I guess a 7.5. Yeah, but I have like the same feelings. Like the emotional stuff was all really good, and I think that was the constant of the entire show. And I'm glad that they kept it contained. Like I'm glad it didn't get too crazy with introducing like Mephisto and Nightmare and like all this stuff that it kept like streamlined of like this is about WandaVision. It's the name of the show. Like so I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with like the Quicksilver stuff because I feel like that was just cheap and the scroll post credit scene, like Leeroy said, left more to be desired. I would have liked to see a little bit more fighting with everyone involved, including Quicksilver and Monica Rambeau and stuff. But the fighting that we did get was entertaining. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this episode. And yeah, we're gonna. I mean, she's probably just gonna blast the Mind Stone stuff into White Vision and get him back in Doctor Strange or something. So
yeah,
and they're not gonna let go of those kids. Like
yeah,
got Young
definitely.
Avengers.
We got Young Avengers.
I'm looking forward to where everything goes next.
Yeah, we're finally getting the ball running because this is what started Marvel up again. This whole show, so that's pretty good. That this is a pretty good footing already. So
yeah, it's a good jumping off point. You know, we had a nice little hiatus and break. You know, and this was
we're supposed to get other shows. We're supposed to get the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier next.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, and we'll be doing that review as well. This is Subscribe Reviews. I am Dragolf, joined by Leeroy Green and Murdoch, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for Winter Soldier and Captain Falcon. Peace.